Hello everyone and welcome to day 28. So we are on our final countdown, 3 days to go. I hope you carry on into December, but what an amazing achievement to make it this far. So just be proud of what we've done. We're just going to do some nice wide-legged stretches today, just to open up those hips, open up the arms, open up the chest, open up our heart. So if you're okay, we'll just settle down into our space. I'm going to grab my bolster. Just taking a nice comfortable seat wherever you are. We're just going to spend a moment or two just to close our eyes. Maybe take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll do that one again. Just to really settle us into our body. Tuning in to the activity of our mind. Not judging it, not trying to change its stream of thoughts, just observing. Observing your breath. Maybe tuning into what you can hear. What's going on in your space. Maybe tuning into any smells. Just bringing the mind into this present moment. And when you're ready, dropping your chin in towards your chest. Blinking open the eyes if they've been shut before raising the chin and taking in the room. That's lovely. We're going to make it onto our mats now. So jump along with me. So you may want a block, you may want a book. I'm just going to grab mine. Like I say, it's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and need it. So I'm back with my block. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. And we're just going to start off just by warming up the body nice and gently. We're going to do a couple of rounds of sun breath. So coming into our Tadasana, our mountain pose, making sure that the heels behind the widest part of the feet, spread those toes nice and wide. Looking for that alignment of ankles, knees, hips, rolling the shoulders up and back, palms facing forward. And then when you're ready, working with your breath, we'll inhale to sweep the arms up, bring the fingertips or palms to touch at the top, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, dive forward, bend those knees generously and bring the weight into the balls of the big toes. Inhale, bring the hands onto the shins, half forward fold. And exhale, releasing all the way back down into forward fold, Uttanasana. Then with an inhale, sweeping the arms wide. And bring the fingertips and palms to touch the top, maybe sending your gaze upwards too. On the exhale, we're going to bring the hands down the midline of the body. Just taking a little pause for a breath with the hands at the heart centre. And then when you're ready, floating the hands all the way back down. We're going to do another round. So inhale to sweep up. Fingertips and palms to touch at the top. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, bending their knees generously. We'll bring the top half of the body to sit on the top of the thighs. With an inhale, bring the hands onto the shins. Half forward fold, bring the shoulder blades in towards one another. And then exhale, release all the way back down. With your next inhale, sweeping the arms out wide. Send those fingers all the way up to the sky. Fingertips come to touch at the top. And exhale, bring the hands down the midline of the body. And just pause them there. Our heart centre. Release them all the way back down. I'm already generating a little bit of heat here. I'm just going to pop my beautiful yoga hoodie off. Lovely gift from a very dear friend today. I'm going to take our legs, take our feet to about a leg's distance apart. I also think this is personal choice. Some people might like the legs a bit wider, a bit shorter. So just finding a position that feels comfortable to you. We're going to make sure that the outer edges of our feet are in line with the outer edges of the mat. And inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead, fingertips or palms to touch. Exhale, bring them down the midline of the body. I'm going to just carry on the journey all the way down. I'm going to bring those hands to sit on our hips. So inhale to open up the chest, bring those shoulder blades in towards one another at the back. And exhale, we're going to start hinging forward at the hips. So trying to keep that nice straight spine. When we need to take an inhale, just pause, take our breath. Then on the exhale, continuing to hinge and to deepen into that stretch. Now you may be quite happy with the hands on the hips. We may want to release them down onto the floor, or if you have your block, you can release them down onto your block, remembering the 3 different heights of the block. So just taking which option feels good for you. And we're going to just try and bring a bit more of our weight into the front of our feet just to stop our hins sailing backwards. And we can work with our breath again to deepen the stretch further if we so desire today. So inhale, we always imagine lengthening through the crown of our head. And then exhale, you can either walk the hands towards the midline of the body, so bringing them under the hips. That'll increase the stretch as well. Or to increase the stretch further, you can start bending in at the elbows. But basically making this stretch what feels good for you and your body at this time, at this moment. You could come back to this pose again in an hour's time, and it may feel different. Your body may want different things. It may want to go on the block, it may not want to bend so deeply. So we're just going to listen to our body and just do what feels good for it today in this moment. With the next inhale, we're going to come to a half forward fold. So coming either up onto the fingertips or grabbing that block. So we're having that lovely straight spine from the base to the crown of the head. I'm just going to pause here. And then on the exhale, we're going to walk our hands over to that right side. And when you feel like a nice stretch, you can just rest there. You may want to release the head and the neck and the chest down once more. I'm just noticing how it changes the stretch across the back of the legs. Taking a few breaths here. And with the next inhale, I'm just going to lift that head if we lowered it before, coming to that half forward fold as we walk our hands back to centre. Just pausing here, just for one breath. And then on the exhale, we're going to walk them over to the left side this time. Again, either keeping that spine nice and straight, or just allowing that head, that neck, to allow gravity to do its thing, pulling us down. Again, making sure that we've got the weight evenly distributed between the front and the backs of the feet. And also making sure that we're in the position where we can still breathe freely and easily. Like I say, if you find that your breath is being restricted, then just coming out of the pose ever so slightly, just to open up the chest, just to make sure that that breath can still flow beautifully in and out. With the next inhale, we're going to walk our hands back into the middle. Exhale to bend our knees deeply. We're going to bring our hands up onto our hips. Key now is to engage those abdominal muscles as on the next inhale. We're going to peel the torso back up into a nice upright position. We're going to do some twists now. So again, taking the option that feels good for you. Maybe having that block or book available. We're just going to place it just underneath our heads. Yeah. So taking the inhale once more, opening up through the chest. The exhale, we'll start diving forward, hinging at the hips one more time, taking that pause when you need to take an inhale. And exhale to carry on down. This time we're going to release that right hand down onto the block or onto the mat that's directly underneath our face. And keeping that right hand on the hip or moving it to the flat part of the lower back. I'm going to do a gentle twist now. So inhale to lengthen. And exhale, we're going to start twisting over to our left. Then inhale to lengthen. And exhale to keep rotating over to the left. And if you feel like that left shoulder is stacked on the right shoulder, you can go ahead and release that left hand up towards the sky. And taking your choice of gaze, either looking straight ahead or up towards those beautiful fingers on the left hand. Just going to take one more breath here. And on the exhale, slowly floating that left hand down if it was lifted. I'm going to swap plate positions with the hands. So this time the left hand comes down onto the mat or onto a block, and the right hand swings behind us and placing it on the hip on the lower part of the back. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, I'm going to start rotating over towards that right side. Again, working with the breath, the inhale we lengthen, and the exhale is when we rotate. And this time, if you feel like that right shoulder is stepped over the left, you can release that right hand up towards the sky. Today I don't feel like mine is on this side, so I'm just going to keep it on the lower part of the back. I'm still working with my breath, and the inhale I lengthen, the exhale I rotate, just so I feel like a nice stretch. Then I'm just going to stay here and breathe. And then if you have got that right arm lifted, on the next exhale, we're just going to float that all the way back down, reaching that left hand coming into our face. Taking in another breath here. On the exhale, bend those knees comfortably, bring the hands onto the hips, engage those abdominal muscles. On the inhale, peeling that torso back up into an upright position. Great job, everyone. We're just going to shimmy our feet in ever so slightly. Maybe having a nice little bounce up and down on the toes. And we're just going to do one more stretch before we finish off our practice today. So placing the hands on the inside of the thighs. We're going to start externally rotating our hips. So taking our toes to the corners, top corners of the mat, but making sure that the rotation comes from here and not just from the ankle joints. We're going to inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead, bringing ourselves to undulating mudra at the top. At the exhale, we're going to start lowering those sit bones all the way down. And at the same time, bringing our hands down the midline, pausing the hands at our heart center, and resting those sit bones so we've got a nice, comfortable stretch. With an inhale, we're going to open those arms up wide, opening up the chest and that heart to the sky. Then exhale, we're going to bring that right arm underneath the left arm, giving ourselves a lovely hug. With the next inhale, bring those elbows up in line with the shoulders. And the option is to stay here. We can bring the forearms to touch, or maybe even the palms to touch. Just picking an option that feels good, gives your body what it needs today. Remembering to breathe, remembering to keep those muscles on the face nice and relaxed. And we're just going to have maybe one more breath here. And on the next inhale, unwinding those arms, open them up wide. And on the exhale, start straightening the legs as we float the hands all the way back down. We're going to do the same again. So with an inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead, fingertips or palms to touch at the top. And exhale, start lowering those sit bones down one more time. At the same time, bringing the hands down the midline of the body, pausing at our heart center. Inhale to send the arms out wide. And exhale, we're going to bring the other arm underneath this time. So bringing the left arm underneath the right arm, giving yourselves a nice big hug. And then with an inhale, bring those elbows up in line with the shoulders. So again, option to stay here. We can bring the forearms to touch, maybe in the palms of the hands to touch. And just noticing that you might be ever so slightly different on this side. And just reading yourself that that's perfectly normal. Might be generating a bit of burn in the legs now, so like I say, honour your body. If it becomes too much, just straighten those legs, come out of the pose. On the next inhale, we're going to send the arms out wide. And then the exhale, straighten the legs, bring the hands all the way down. Walking the feet in towards one another. We're just going to finish off with a nice side stretch, some nice blown palms. So inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. We're going to interlace the free fingers from the middle finger down to the pinky finger, index finger pointers up and the thumbs crossed. So it looks a bit like this. This is our Kali Mudra. We're now going to start pouring our weight heavily into that right foot. Maybe spreading those toes in the right foot. Taking an inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to start bending over to that left side. Opening up the right side of the body. So aiming to keep the side length of the body the same. Seeing if we can keep those biceps in line with our ears. And with the next inhale, bringing ourselves all the way back to centre. Taking another inhale here. And pouring our weight now into our left foot. We're going to start bending over to our right side, doing a nice side stretch on the other side. Remembering to breathe. Doing the next inhale, coming back to centre, and just bring those hands to close in that prayer pose and draw that prayer down towards the heart centre. We've done it. That is our day 28 done, which means that we've only got 2 more to do. So I'm going to come closer so we can set our intentions together, or you may want to tool off now, completely your choice. So bringing one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, we set our intention for a joyful and energetic body. Bringing our hands over our heart centre and tuning into that beat of that heart that shows us gratitude, compassion, love, kindness. We're going to set our intention for a loving and compassionate heart. Bringing the hands out in front, fingertips to touch but the base of the hands away from one another. Drawing your attention to your third eye centre and setting your intention for a clear, reflective and alert mind. Finally bringing the base of the hands to touch, opening the 3 middle fingers and tuning into your energy field surrounding your body. We set our final intention to have lightness in our being. Close those hands in your prayer pose, draw that prayer in towards the heart. Just want to say this has been an incredible journey with you all. From my heart to yours, Namaste. Thank you very much, and I shall see you 2 more times. We can do this. Bye-bye.